people, on black people. It's impacted in particular on black women, on young black people. 1 in 2 young black people is unemployed. 1 in 5 black women is unemployed. In comparison, 1 in 14 white women are unemployed. In the public sector, we've seen over 30,000 jobs cut between 2010 and 2012 for black workers, BAME workers. And in London and South East, which has the highest black population of workers, 12,000 public sector jobs have gone. So there's a clear disproportionate impact, and that leads to deepening poverty. It leads to problems with access to housing. If young people can't get jobs, they can't get on the housing ladder, they can't afford rental, let alone to buy property, because they're outpriced out of the market altogether. And this needs to change, and this is one of the key reasons why I stand with Jeremy, because he stands up and has always stood up against austerity. And we need a leader of the Labour Party, and indeed a Prime Minister, that will bring us out of poverty, bring us out of discrimination, create a more equal society for everybody. The Brexit campaign was the most racist and xenophobic, toxic campaign I've seen. It led to the murder of Jo Cox, may she rest in peace, and we mustn't forget what happened to her, that she was killed by fascists because of her beliefs for equality and freedom and justice. And we must stand up for equality and freedom and justice every day. The police reported that in the week up to the EU referendum result and the week after, there were 3,000 hate crimes reported to them. But they themselves say that only 1 in 4 hate crimes are actually reported to the police. Many black communities don't trust the police. Migrant communities, asylum seekers cannot go to the police for various reasons. So we know that the real number is going to be even more horrific than that. The media and right-wing politicians have emboldened people that hold racist views to go out on the streets and express them. And we need to stand up. It's not just the responsibility of those on the receiving end of hatred. It's the responsibility of everybody to stand up to hatred. The most horrific hate crime, and I was inundated with reports and requests for help from people that experienced hate crime during that period. And the most horrific thing I saw was during a by-election in East London that I was supporting for a Labour candidate that supports Jeremy Corbyn, where an Asian man who was a Labour Party member who was canvassing with us was called an FMP and then smashed in the head and the face with a glass bottle by a father and son duo. So that kind of racism has no place on our streets, no place in our society. And the final thing that I want to mention today is about deaths at the hands of the state. That's another thing we need to stand up to, because Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Don't come to tell me that all lives matter. When Black Lives Matter, Black lives have been disregarded and ignored. 156 black people were killed in police custody between 1990 and to date. And actually last night, in the early hours of this morning, an ex-footballer was killed. He was tasered and he died in the early hours of this morning. That makes it 157. And of all those people that died, no police officer has been brought to justice for those